So I missed the live stream. That's right. I had to work. I had to do my normal day job, and I couldn't watch the live stream right from the get-go. So I'm a little bit late on some of this information, but I did at least want to give my thoughts about the live stream that happened for Wuthering Waves. I am so stoked on this game, and I'm pretty sure that anybody else would say the same thing if they were in my shoes. I got to play the closed beta 2. I got to see some of the stuff they were working on. I had a little bit of disheartening stuff with it, but then they literally dropped a live stream before and talked about some of the stuff that they fixed. Now with this live stream, we finally get to see what is coming to our wonderful game known as Wuthering Waves. So I am very stoked on this, and I hope you are as well. So if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Wuthering Waves video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. Would love to hear y'all's opinion on Wuthering Waves. And of course, don't forget, I'm sponsored by the Ever Wonderful Gamer Subs. Make sure to use Tystra for 10% off. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and talk about the news that came with Wuthering Waves today. So first things first, I did kind of want to talk about, as you can see, I'm going from the YouTube video. I did write down my notes. It's around this area where we talked about the story, the bosses, and, you know, ultimately some things that got released with it. We saw some of the bosses anyway in the closed beta 2, but they weren't really delved into a little bit. And it's the same for this live stream as well. I think they want to leave these bosses a little bit ambiguous for the most part as we progress through the story. However, there is one boss that they talked about, and we'll get to them in just a moment. But aside from our main story, right, we are getting companion missions, which is pretty standard. You know, companion missions are what we get in most normal games. Like, as of its direct competitor Genshin Impact, we have companion missions or story quests for certain characters every time a new character comes out. And this is not going to be an exception here. We are getting 3 companionship missions. You see one of them right here being Ling Yang. And then, of course, just before that as well, we did have Jian and England, which, by the way, I didn't understand that that's how you pronounce her name, is England. It's weird, okay? I'm not used to this. But we are getting 3 companion missions, which means we're going to be getting a lot of rewards from these, and I'm stoked upon that. But what that also means is that our first characters were basically announced from here, which are Jian and Inland, and we're going to be talking about those here in a bit. But there is one thing I did want to talk about at the first part of this, and I do have them split into parts, and it's only because of the fact that really there's a lot to talk about here. So as you can see, there is this boss right here, and this is one of the bosses that I kind of saw. Oh, it's a little blurry. Gross. Stop moving, my guy. This boss, if I can get a good, there we go, right there. This boss right here is one of the coolest bosses I have seen in a freaking gacha game in a long time, right? Now, the reason why I'm saying that is that this is the Dreamless, and Dreamless, I think, is going to be our first weekly boss, or at least that's what it comes down to, or comes off to me, basically, because as I was watching this live stream, they were heavily talking about this boss, and from all intents and purposes, it has the look of a weekly boss. But then again, all of the bosses in the game do have that look of a weekly boss. Hell, we have Ghost Rider. We have a giant turtle, right? So we do have the Dreamless here, and the Dreamless looks like it's going to be a very, very fun boss. I am betting on it being the weekly boss because of its inclusion into the main story, right? So there's a lot to take in from this. Now, as we move forward, they did do another minigame, so we skipped a little bit, right? But in this little section right here, if we, there we go. So you're going to hear a little bit of the stuff in the background, and my original idea for doing this was going to be a lot different, but it was going to last like an hour and a half, and I don't think you guys want to see that. But we did reach the 30 million, which means, right, we are getting the, let me go ahead and get this back up. There we go. Perfect. So we are getting the advanced resonance potions, which I think are basically stamina uppers, if I remember correctly. We are getting the in-route sigil. We are getting shell credits, which credits are going to be used for leveling up your characters, so you're going to need that. Asterite 200, which doesn't seem like a lot, but hey, I'll take the free 200. 30 million, we're getting a 20 Lustrous Tides, which Lustrous Tides are going to be used for, like, normal summons, I believe. I believe that's what it was, because Radiant Tides are used for the special banners like Jian and Inland. Now, these 20 Lustrous Tides are going to play a good factor later on when we talk about some other stuff. But We are also getting the 5 million followers 4-star weapon case, where we're going to get a choice between one of 5 4-star weapons, 5 of each type, which is the great sword, the one-handed sword, the rectifier, the pistol, and of course also the gauntlets, right? So pretty cool. Like these are pretty standard in general. We got stuff like this before, but 27 summons is, or 27 20 summons, right, is still really really good, and we're gonna get a lot of free summons from this, and we'll be talking about that as we go on, right? But we did get that, right? And we also got a little bit of banner stuff here. Let me go and see if I can pull it up. Okay, so we have Gion's banner, right? Gion's banner did get announced, and we are getting Chixia, who is a free-to-play unit that we will be getting during the story. Mortify, which Mortify is considered the best 4-star damage dealer right now, at least on many, many tier lists, and I didn't get a chance to use them, which sucks. And Danheng, who I didn't get a chance to use, but I did pull her at some point during my game. I just didn't get the chance to use her, and I'm pretty stoked on that. That's a really, really decent banner to start us off with, right? Followed by, we also got confirmation about this, and this is talked about during the summons portion, but I'll go ahead and say here, if you do summon on these special weapon banners, you will actually get this weapon at most at 80 summons. So it's not like Genshin or Honkai Star Rail or other gachas. This is a guaranteed weapon, regardless. You could get it at 10, you could get it at 20, you could get it at 80, but you will always get that weapon so long as you have the summons for it. And I think that's really good, because I don't think that gacha games should make you summon more than one rotation for a weapon. It's just, that's how I feel about it. And I think a lot of people would agree. This was a great choice to confirm that they were doing this. A great choice. And I'm very, very happy for them. This will make a lot of people happy in general, right? But we did also get the Yinlin banner. And God, I need to get, or sorry, Inland. Oh my God, I love her. She is freaking hot, dude. Oh my God. I was thirsting through these trailers that whenever she'd pull up. But we do have the 3 characters that were announced alongside her, which is Tauki, Aalto, and Yanwu. And Yanwu I got to play with a little bit. Aalto I got to play a lot, but Tauki I did not. But yeah, these are decent banners. Like already, we don't have a lot of 4-stars to play with, so really, I can't really complain about these. These are the first 2 characters though. So Jian will be up at the start of the game, so he's there, right there, ready to go. Yinlin will be dropping on June 12th, right? So we're gonna have a little bit. We're gonna have a little 3 weeks basically. So I'm pretty stoked on that. And of course, we also got Yinlin's weapon, which I will probably go for just because I am going to be simping for Yinlin. I really am. She's from what I understand, and after all the tier lists, not all the betas are done, she is considered one of the best damage dealers in the game. So I'm pretty stoked on that. As we move forward, right, this is something I really wanted to talk about because I am very, very stoked on this, and for good reason, right? So first things first, right? This is the beginner banner. Now, the beginner banner, normally you don't want to summon for, right? But this is good, because with this banner, it's 50 summons, or really it's only going to be 40 summons, and like you're paying for 40 summons, but you're going to be getting 50, right? And you get a 5-star, right? So you could get Kalcharo, you could get Encore, you could get Rina, who's considered the best healer, Jianjin, who's hot, and Lingyang, right? You can get any of these 5. But what's really important about this, right? And stop technical support here, and we'll come back to that here in just a second, right? But the reason why I fast forwarded, right, is because this banner right here, and the reason why this is important is this is separate from the standard banner. This is going to be a choice banner, because after you get done with the 50 summons, you have to do the 50 summons first in the novice choice, where you get the random 5-star. You have up to 80 summons to get the specified 5-star that you want, whether it's Kalcharo, Encore, Jianjin, Rina, or Lingyang. That's important, because if you pull let's say for me, if I get lucky, I either pull Verena, Calcharo, or Jianjin. Those are the 3 I want. Encore, I could be okay with. I'm trying to not get Ling Yang, and I'm probably summoning that into existence. But if you pull any of them, or you don't get the one that you want, you could get a really, really good supporter like Jianjin and Verena at the start, and then go for your DPS character in Calcharo, Encore, and Ling Yang. So that's really good. That's a really good deal. And I know that a lot of people would be like, oh, this sucks. Why do we have to, go through all these summons before we get to the 80? I think this is a wonderful thing. I know that we had a hard time with Genshin when we had the novice banner because we could just choose whatever. And it was like, okay, fine. We could just dodge it. I think this is big because these banners are guaranteeing you a 5-star right out the rip. And you're getting 20 summons right out the get-go. So really all you need is 20 more summons on that 50 summon banner, which is weird to say, but it's discounted so that you only have to pay 40 summons to get 50 summons, right? That's big. So literally at the start of the game, just about, like, honestly, with all the rewards right now, you're almost guaranteed to get done with that novice banner to start on your 80 banner. And with as many rewards as they're going to be giving out through like battle passes, all that stuff in the events, you're almost going to get your 5-star by the end of 1.0, right? So let's go ahead and head back here because this is another thing I wanted to talk about. And this is huge too. Like, I feel as though Kuro Games is hitting hard, right? This is the beginner, or not beginner, this is the standard weapon banner, right? The difference between this standard weapon banner and other standard weapon banners is that you get to choose which weapon you get. And because of the fact that they have this thing where you want that weapon, you get it at most at the 80 summons. That's what you're going to get. So if you choose the Winter Broom pistols, that's the weapon you're going to get at the 80 summons. And you could interchange, like, if you decide you want the pistols at first, but then halfway through you're like, I don't know, I want the broad blade instead. You could do that and you're still guaranteed that weapon. And that is huge in my opinion, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't play every single gacha game and I don't study each and every gacha game's mechanics, but I have not seen this in the gacha games that I have played. And if they were in the gacha games that I played, I didn't notice them because they don't make them a big deal. This is a big deal, especially if you're trying to get these. And I think these take separate summon materials than other ones do. So that's big. Not only that, but these beginner banners that we were talking about, they don't expire either. So that's a pretty good thing. And I'm very excited for that. We're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. I think it's a little bit further down. We start to get to actual events and all that. So there was going to be a login event that I saw. I could find it here. I think it's right around here. It's almost here. That's Union, right? Let's rewind just a little bit. There it is. Okay, so this is going to be the login event to start us off in 1.1, right? Now, you're going to get 4 of the Lustrous Tides. You're going to get 4 Radiant Tides, but you're also going to get a Sanwu. Now, or Sanhua. I think that's what, yeah, Sanhua. I literally should have just read. But it's day 5. So literally in 5 days, you get Sanwu, who is not featured in the banner. And this is where I find it really, really cool, right? Because outside of Yanwu in the events and being in Yinlin's banner, no other 4-star that you're getting, maybe even outside of Qingque because she's free to play, you get in these events. So if you're doing these events, you're not going to get them in the summons unless you just get unlucky and you don't get the featured, right? So you're not going to get a Sanhua unless you get unlucky, quote unquote, which is still lucky because Sanhua's hot, okay? But I digress. What I'm saying here is that it's diversity. You have chances of getting really good 4-stars right out the get-go from, just being and playing on the game or from summoning. And I think that's a great diversity that a lot of games forget to do. A lot of games do forget that. So I'm really excited for this. I love the fact that they're doing this login event. Now, granted, I hope that the next login events will be like 10 Radiant Tides like they do for other games. Like, that should be your big currency, right? Nikkei does it all the time. They do the login event. They give you, a bunch of stuff, right? I hope that they continue this gifts of of new patches, right? So, but yes, that's also cool is that, and we saw it just a little bit before we went to the daily login stuff, but here, now this is big because if you get to Union 35, this is Lustrous Tides, right? So you're getting 40 Lustrous Tides from here, plus the 34 that you're getting, well, 24 so far, but we're going to talk about the last a little bit. But you're getting the 40 tides here for Lustrous Tides. And that's going to be a big dent into your 80 pull for your pick for 5-star. And then once you get that 5-star from that picker, that's it, man. You could go into regular standard banner and just save your Lustrous Tides for whatever. But what's really cool about this too is not only are you getting that, you're getting 1,600 Asteroids. And I think that's a multi in of itself for any banner that you want. Followed by 6 of those cubes, which I can't remember what those are for, so that's my bad. I should have studied a little bit more. But the big thing that I'm seeing is a 5-star weapon selector at Union 45, which means you could pick any of those 5 weapons that we were talking about in the banner, and you could get it. That's crazy good. And they have a bunch of events as well outside of this that are going to be in-game for a lot of rewards. And I love it, right? It just seems like they're hitting the ground running in the right ways. I really hope that translates well to the grind, because the grind is going to be the biggest thing. Last couple things that we want to talk about, right? And we're going to skip a little bit, right? But they're going hard on the merch, right? So this is the crownless enemy, and this is going to be one of their first figurines. And this thing looks sick. I want this. I will probably end up buying this, and I probably shouldn't, but that's okay. We're also going to be getting, if we can get to it, the Yang Yang figurine, which is in the works as well. And that looks so freaking cool. I think that's right when she does her, Resonance Liberation. And I think that's really cool. I hope that they continue this, because it looks like it's saying Resonance Liberation series figurine. So we're probably going to see more of this. And if we do, bro, like, it's probably going to get as crazy as, what's the game called? It was the one that Tectone basically got, ousted from because people were idiots. I can't remember the game. I can't remember, but they have a lot of figurines in Japan that sell for like hundreds of dollars. It's insane. So it looks like it's going to be like this, and I'm pretty stoked on that. We are getting a Jian Chibi figurine, and it looks like that's going to be a series as well. So that's cool. I probably won't go for these ones, because Jian, as much as I think he's cool, I'm not a big fan of the chibi figurines. I have a couple Nintendroids, Nindroids, but it is what it is. The one thing I really want is this release celebration set, because I think that's really cute. I would love for me to have this. Oh, I'm gonna be buying so much stuff for no reason, but it does have a lot of cool stuff. It has a Yang Yang plushie, a couple badges, animal illustration notebook, and the gold puff magnets, which are pretty cool. So it's like a little collector set, and I think that that's going to be the biggest thing that they do, or not the biggest thing, but one of the minor things that they do that a lot of other gacha games fail to do is have a good selection of merch right out the gate. Because, well, it's not going to be right out the gate, but you get what I mean. It's going to be pretty soon. It took a while for them to start really putting out the merch that they have for like Genshin and all those other gacha games. So I'm pretty stoked that they're showing us what we can get right out the gate. So we did get an announcement for the game being able to be pre-downloaded. And then what I found really, really weird is that the official open beta, they said, and I'm like, I don't know if this is an open beta. I think that this is just the, game itself is releasing on May 22nd. But I will say the pre-download being on the 21st, good move. So tomorrow, tomorrow, make sure that you're ready for pre-download. Get this game ready to go. Download it from the official website. Now, of course, we got that, but we also got the news that they are coming to the Mac App Store. My question is, who is gaming on a Mac? To be honest, let me know. Why do you game on a Mac? Please let me know in the comments down below if you do. But yeah, you will be able to play this game on MacBook pretty soon, right? And then finally, we did get a little bit of extra stuff, but we're gonna fast forward and we're gonna go to this man. This guy is dope. Right, I believe that this is the main dude for the dev team, right? And he talks about here, as we fast forward a little bit, he talks about a lot of good stuff, but we are getting, and I'll move my camera here, 10 Lustrous Tide and 10 Radiant Tide. So we're getting 2 multis for free, and this is at the start of the game, right? And I think that's big. So if we look at this, right, we have the 4 from the daily login. We are getting 20 from reaching the milestones. And we are getting 10 from our boy here, followed by another 40 in regards to the actual, like, union stuff, right? So if you get to union 45 by the end of this, you will have, what, 74 summons of your standard, which means that you will not only get the main stuff done, your 40 summons into the novice banner to get your first 5-star, but you will have 34 summons into your novice banner, or the new novice banner after that, followed by whatever you get afterwards for your illustrious tide. And then, of course, we are getting the 10 radiant tide, which I feel like is a little small, plus the 4. So we have 14, which is not, it's not more than, well, it's 14 singles, aka 1 multi and a half almost. Which I wish there would have been a little bit more, but I'm not complaining because there's plenty of opportunity to get more of those summons, right? The Asterite, we're going to be getting a bunch of that, and that's going to be used for your main currency, right? So overall, I just want to say this live stream was like really big in the sense of like getting all the information that we needed, and there was a lot of great stuff coming from this live stream. I'm very hyped for this game, and I know I should probably curb my hypeness, but I just can't. I'm very excited for this. I expect really good things from this company. They've already proven themselves with Punishing Grey Raven, as well as it's done, and so I give my full support to Kuro Games. Hey guys, I'm not contracted by any other gaming company. You should just contract me. Come on, please. But I digress. I'm excited for the game, and I really hope that you are too. If you are, please let me know in the comments down below. Would love to hear y'all's opinion on this. And of course, don't forget to, check out Gamersubs. Use code TYSER for 10% off. You can't miss it. We have so many great things in the works. We actually have the Moist Critical Cup coming out very soon. So if you like Charlie like I do, hey guys, ooh yeah, baby. Make sure to go ahead and check out gamersubs.gg/TYSER, or just TYSER. TYSER, yeah. Sorry, very tired. But anyways, y'all, that's going to be it. Love you all to death. And as always, we will see you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.